Taehyung was sleeping, but not peacefully. His brows were furrowed, jaw clenched hard. He heard something. He saw something unpleasant, something that connected his past to today's misery. His eyes shot open. His body felt heavy. It was the feeling of someone chaining him completely, sinking him deeper, leaving him helpless. He tried hard to move, but his body didn't respond to his mind. He struggled to move his chained limbs, but they refused to obey. His lips parted, yet no sound came out. He tried harder to move a finger to just one part of his body, at least one toe, but nothing worked. He pushed for a faint groan, anything at all. Wasn't this curse supposed to be gone? He hadn't suffered from it for months. So why now? The weight on his chest grew heavier. Breathing became too hard. With a slight movement of his eyes, he caught it by the corner of his room. He knew it wasn't real. It was a dream. He shouldn't be seeing this. Unwillingly, he moved his gaze. That was the only thing he could control. A tall, dark, feminine figure smiled cruelly at him. Without footsteps, without effort, the figure floated closer. The shadow sat directly on his chest, leaning so close it felt like she was trying to suck his soul. His heart hammered violently inside his chest, desperate to escape the invisible grip. His mind screamed to move. This isn't real. This is just a filthy imagination. Breathe, breathe, breathe. But he couldn't. The more he tried to breathe, the less his body responded. His vision blurred as the weight pressed harder. The dark gaze pierced through him, a sharp reminder of the past he wanted to escape. Voices filled his ears with demonic whispers that stripped him of will. Words he once longed to hear. Words he had craved, now twisted, burning into his chest. They sent chills racing down his spine. Taehyung finally managed to twitch a finger just as the shadow hovered over him, on the verge of piercing into his skin. In that moment of fragile freedom, the sight of the demonic figure crawling into him made his body shiver uncontrollably. He wanted to scream, to thrash, but all he could do was shake violently. His chest rose and fell desperately. Sweat slid down his body, soaking into the sheets. His hair clung to his forehead. Just as the suffocation reached its peak, his body jolted awake. He gasped, breath catching in his throat, aching all over. He sat there, recovering. This wasn't new to him. He had faced it before, but it had been almost 6 months since the last time. Why now? Then he remembered. Every time he tried to live normally, something pulled him back toward death. Toward the darkness that had once settled in his chest. His eyes darted around the room until they landed on Ebony, sleeping with his mouth open. Drool slid down his lips, one hand resting on his chest. The sight was messy, but mesmerizing. Taehyung's thundering heart calmed. His cold, distant gaze softened on his baby husband. With a wounded heart, he compared everything. Removing the blanket, he quietly left the room. A fine wine could fix his mood right now. This suffocation wasn't enough to worry him. He had endured it for years. It was nothing new. At the home bar, he poured himself a glass of vintage wine. It's late. Go and sleep. Taehyung heard Namjoon's voice as the older man took the seat beside him. You should sleep. You have an important meeting, Taehyung said, sipping his wine. He glanced at Namjoon, who poured himself vodka straight, no mix. Taehyung kept his gaze on him but didn't speak. He knew some aches needed to be drowned, even if only for a moment. This alcohol does nothing, Taehyung. I can't forget. Even when I drink to numb myself, the ache only intensifies. My mind still vividly remembers that incident. Mafia V, why don't you take my contract? Namjoon's words seemed careless, but the raw pain in his voice betrayed him. Taehyung looked at his brother-in-law, the man who had stood by him like a father would, who had shown him humanity when the world had stained him. Still, there was always a wall between them. I can't make Mr. Kim a widow, Taehyung answered without emotion, as if the thought of killing the man never hurt him. Understood. I'll go to the terrace. Wanna join? Namjoon asked, though he already knew the answer. Taehyung's shake of the head confirmed it. Namjoon left with the vodka bottle in hand. The morning came as a drama for Jungkook. He stirred from his sleep only to find the space beside him vacant. A pout decorated his cherry-red lips. His big doe eyes traveled across the room, searching for someone more like a particular person. His hot and handsome husband. Just when he was losing hope and looking down, a familiar cologne caught his attention. He looked up and found his husband. Taehyung looked breathtaking. His white shirt clung slightly, drenched by the water dripping from his hair. The sleeves were rolled up carelessly. His damp hair still glistened with droplets. His face looked almost boyish, like a cute baby. Jungkook's cheeks turned red. His husband was ethereal in every way. He always was, but right now it felt like the best sight Jungkook had ever seen. Jungkook rubbed his eyes cutely before getting up from the bed. His small steps carried him straight to the man he was looking for. "You look so hot in the morning. It's unfair for my heart." Jungkook flirted shamelessly. He didn't even acknowledge their situation. The situation between them is obviously not flirtable enough. Taehyung didn't answer. His eyes moved to the mirror, fixing his damp hair with his fingers. But a closer look of his face would say many things are not the same. His ears are red, and the crimson color spread all over his neck. Jungkook pouted, but his gaze didn't leave his husband for even a second. "Taehyung is too adorable to look away. Your university time is at 9. Why are you still in bed?" Taehyung asked without even looking at the side. Jungkook was pouting cutely while glaring at the male standing just in front of the mirror. "Don't talk like that. I don't want to hit you. What will people say if I hit you? You are my husband after all. I don't like to go to university. Although it's my dream to become a doctor and help others, I don't like going to university and studying. There should be some magic where I can magically pass the phase." "What do you say?" Jungkook blabber everything without any knowledge of what he is actually saying. One thing he knows: he doesn't like studying. The Raven Mafia who doesn't hear anything nonsense keeps his ear concentrated on his baby husband's blabbering. He didn't even move just to not disturb his baby husband who was speaking nonsense. He doesn't have the heart to cause any problem while his baby husband is talking. "Get ready. Mr. Jeon invited us for dinner. Or perhaps discuss the contract," Taehyung said and left from there while Jungkook pouted sadly. But the next moment the pour disappears. The innocence in his eyes changed into something smug. A cruel smirk plastered on his face. He looks like a different Jungkook. Jungkook who was unknown to everyone. He walked into the bathroom, closed the door and stood in front of the mirror. His eyes sparkled with a malicious grin. But the next moment his eyes sparkled with the very well-known innocence. "How can I let them ruin the thing which I earned for, hubby? I didn't win you out of luck. I earned you with my dedication. You know how problematic it was when I planned everything. How can you fall for me when you never let anyone get close to you? But how can I let you go when you are the only one running in my veins? Without this child you won't accept me. Now look, I am here with you. Just beside you. You will eventually fall for me. You have to, otherwise I won't hesitate to kill both of us. I never asked anything from God, but I asked you. You have to love me. I will wipe away every existence of people from this world whoever tries to take you away from me. You are mine. Even after death you will be mine. Only mine." Kim Taehyung belongs to Kim Jungkook only. His smile isn't as pure as it used to be. It was psychotic. His eyes burned with obsession. As the water was falling from his head to toe, the smug look became more stronger. He put on the dress elegantly and walked out as innocent as he was before. After coming downstairs he saw his husband sipping a drink, fingers walking on the laptop keyboard like a machine. He takes away the drink glass and smiles innocently at Taehyung. "You shouldn't drink much, hubby. It's bad for your health. Why are you drinking so much? The baby will be sad," Jungkook said with a smile, and Taehyung scanned him all over. He didn't say anything, just stood up and came to the dining hall where Seokjin and Namjoon were eating their breakfast. "Good morning everyone. How are you guys?" Jungkook's bright greetings and wide smile brought sunshine to the cold wall of the Kim family. They were stunned a bit as this is foreign to them. Taehyung glanced at Jungkook and then at his plate. The breakfast suddenly churned his stomach. He was about to stand up and decline the food, but he couldn't due to Jungkook. Ebony holds his arms and looks at him. Those eyes didn't say anything. "Eat and let's go," Taehyung said with his authoritative tone, but Jungkook didn't loosen the grip. His grip tightened and looks were pitiful. "Don't neglect your food. Eat them, then we will go." Jungkook's voice holds more authority. Taehyung didn't decline. Instead he takes the seat, eating everything forcefully, and leaves the dining hall. Jungkook was sitting in the canteen eating food without any worries. He was eating when Jia and So Yeon walked inside. Jimin was already sitting on the chair opposite Jimin. So the bunny boy finally got his tiger. Jia teased Jungkook while he just shrugged his shoulders. He trapped him. "I am again saying this to you, Jungkook. Don't do anything which will be painful for you. He is ruthless to his own father. He killed him mercilessly. He is a bastard who killed his own mother." Jimin's voice filled with disgust while Jungkook's eyes turned dark. His once sparkling doe eyes were now foreign, but not to his friends and brother. Jungkook put his spoon down, his jaw tightening as he looked straight at Jimin. As if killing someone with eyes only is possible. Jimin would be dead by now. Don't talk about him like that. What do you know about him? He has a reason to do this. Jungkook whispered huskily, a dangerous gleam playing over his spine. Jia and So Yeon exchanged nervous glances. They had never seen Jungkook's voice drop like that before. The boy who always smiled, always chattered, now looked dangerous. They know the obsession younger ones have for the man, but they never witnessed it. I'm telling you the truth, Jungkook. Don't be blind. You're acting like a fool who doesn't know what kind of man he married. What trick he played. Don't ruin the child's life along with yours, Jimin shouted lowly. He doesn't want this for his dear baby brother. He thought with time this would go away, but with time his obsession turned more and more shocking. He's my husband. That's enough for me, Jungkook declared with a cold voice which is unknown to his friends. Jungkook, Jimin is only worried for you. Everyone knows what kind of man Taehyung is. You said to yourself how he bangs one girl on the wall just for approaching him. So Yeon said as she knows how much Jimin loves him. How much Jungkook is invested in. The marriage decision comes rushing, but now also they have a chance to change the consequences. Everyone thinks they know him. But no one actually does. I saw him like no one had ever seen. I will make sure to pay them what they deserve, Jungkook said with darkness crept in his voice. Jimin slammed his hand on the table, making Jia flinch. You're defending a killer. Dad already accepted this child, you shouldn't get married to him. Jimin gritted his teeth while uttering those words. Jungkook's eyes darkened at Jimin's words. He's not what you think. You know how much I love him, Jungkook said with an innocent smile. Looks like he is so pure to even talk like that. Jia reached out carefully, touching Jungkook's arm. Kooky, we don't want to fight with you. But we can't stay quiet while you throw yourself into fire. He is dangerous and what you did will trigger him. He will burn you. Jia's voice filled with worry. She doesn't want Jungkook to get hurt. And she knows the thing Jungkook did is actually wrong. And wrong things can never bring any good. Jungkook pulled his arm back slowly, his gaze fixed on the table. He didn't look at anyone, just kept his gaze stoic. He didn't say anything for a long time. I'd rather burn with him than live without him, Jungkook said and stood up. He walked away without even looking at his friends and brother. Jimin sighs, wiping the tears away from his face while Jia holds his hand with a reassuring smile. Getting Taehyung seems like losing the whole world. He won't listen. Let's go to the classroom. By the way, today Kims are coming to our house for dinner, Jimin said without any kind of excitement. So Yeon blushed at the invitation and lowered her head. Will that young man, Park Bogum, also come? So Yeon said with a blush while Jimin crunched his nose in disgust. He didn't say anything, just started walking ahead, leaving a confused Jia and flustered So Yeon. Taehyung is sitting in his office room, eyes fixed on the files. He is busy with nothing as his convenience isn't on the pile of papers. Instead of work he is in a daze. But a phone call took his attention. He glanced over the number and let it ring until its decline. This repeated over 5 times and finally he took the cell phone and dialed his driver's number. Pick up Mr. Kim from the university, he ordered and cut the call in the next second. Today his mind isn't on the work lined up in front of him. Instead he was thinking something which gives him pain spiritually. How am I looking? Obviously a walking Greek god. Bogum entered the cabin dramatically. Although the entry was heroic, in front of him sat Kim Taehyung. Taehyung glanced over at him and sighs at annoyance. Awful, now come and do your work, Taehyung said and started walking, maybe just trying to keep his mind busy. Taehyung, did you have those nightmares again? Or sleep paralysis? Bogum, knowing Taehyung must have had those nightmares. He knows Taehyung more than Taehyung imagined. Stop talking nonsense. Taehyung glared at him, who just sighs heavily. Taehyung walks inside at strike 5. He never came this early, but today he came just because he had to go to his in-laws' house. He walked inside only to witness a giggling Jungkook watching Tom and Jerry. He keeps watching the boy sitting in the living room swing his legs munching some snacks. Jungkook turned over and smiled widely seeing Taehyung standing on the living room entrance. He ran to Taehyung and hugged him. Taehyung was taken aback by the sudden hug. Why didn't you call me? Sit here, I am bringing some juice for you. It's too hot outside. You might be busy all day. Come, Jungkook said while pulling Taehyung to the couch. He made him sit on the couch and ran to the kitchen. He brought some snacks and juice. Here, hubby, eat them. It's so tasty. You know Jinny Hung really is a super cook. He is so busy with his work still works in the house. Taehyung stands up and holds the tray. He keeps it on the table and takes the juice. Strawberry milkshake. He loved it but didn't drink it for the longest time he could remember. He couldn't hold the glass. The nightmare is still vivid in his mind, haunting him pathetically. I don't need them. Give me a glass of water. Taehyung said, not want to hurt the tiny boy in front of him. Jungkook pouted and glared at Taehyung, who leaned back and closed his eyes. I don't eat anything at this time. This isn't done. I made them with my own hand. You have to eat them. Come on hubby, eat them please. Jungkook's eyes filled with tears as he pleaded with Taehyung more. Taehyung opened his eyes slowly, meeting Jungkook's teary gaze. You never eat properly, you never smile. I just wanted to see you happy, even for a second. Jungkook sobbed slightly, tears gather in his eyes. The boy who always laughed now looked so small, so fragile in front of him. Taehyung exhaled deeply, leaning forward. He took one bite of the snack without a word. Jungkook's eyes widened instantly, shining through the tears. His smile came out brighter. When Taehyung wasn't looking at him, his face fell. He smirks a little bit and takes his seat beside Taehyung with a very well-known innocence. See, it's good, right? I told you, you should eat more, hubby. If you don't, how will you have the strength to handle this much work? My hubby needs a lot of energy to work this much. Jungkook smiled widely and hugged Taehyung's biceps, who just bit his inner cheeks harshly. Fresh blood's taste spread all over his mouth as the bite was harsh. Taehyung drank a sip of the milkshake, his hand trembling faintly holding the glass. The taste dragged him back to the nightmare. The memories which clung to him like a ghost. Which haunts him like a horror. But Jungkook's bright eyes pulled him forward. He forced himself to swallow. Jungkook leaned closer, swinging his legs off the couch. His smile was so pure that anyone would lose their heart at the smile only. Both of them walk inside the bedroom. Jungkook entered the bathroom first. Taehyung was busy talking with one of his business associates. He was busy talking about the recent project he is working on while the man has other intentions. In OTP, Taehyung, I am not agreeing with your proposal. I won't build my company at the place where people work to grow food. Mr. Choi, Mr. Kim, you know one thing, I can turn your entire company into nothing. You better accept my proposal. This is better for everyone. Also, those poor farmers will get work. What more they want? Taehyung, I don't care if you keep your dirty eyes on the field. I will make sure you don't have the life to experience it. Mr. Choi, I have connections with the underworld, Kim. Your entire attitude will drown by them. Just wait and watch. What you thought with Kim Namjoon's shadow, you won't face your consequences. Taehyung, do whatever you want. And certainly let me handle your attitude. Mr. Choi was about to say something more, but Taehyung heard a shout which made him freeze. Jungkook's helpless scream trembles him. He threw the phone away and came to the washroom door with a pounding heart. Jungkook, are you okay? Why are you screaming like this? Taehyung asked with a faint hint of worry. Jungkook said nothing but sobbed harder. Taehyung couldn't say anything, but the worry crept inside his chest. He pushes the door harder and it's open, revealing a wet Jungkook crying non-stop. Jungkook ran to Taehyung and hugged him almost immediately. Taehyung,